A spokeswoman for Hawaii's governor says a mistaken warning about an imminent missile strike on the island of Honolulu was caused by human error. People across the island also received a warning text message from Hawaii's Emergency Management Agency instructing them to seek shelter against a supposed impending strike. The agency and US Military's Pacific Command later confirmed it was a false alarm. Well, I'm joined now from Honolulu by Ryan Azawa, who is the Communications Director at the Hawaii Information Service. Thanks very much for talking to us on Al Jazeera. I mean, quickly, if you could just sum up your reaction when you saw these warnings that a missile strike was imminent.
I was in bed with my wife. I thought we were going to have a nice, relaxing day. You hear the emergency alert, and in Hawaii, we get them. It could be a tsunami threat. It could be a hurricane, although that would give you more time to prepare. But when I checked my watch and then my phone, processing that message, I turned sheet white. My brain froze. I had no idea that I could see something like that.
Now, of course, it took quite a few minutes for them to admit that it was a false alarm, which I'm guessing has caused some anger amongst people in Hawaii.
Oh, most definitely. And of course, that's still, enough time to start bringing your family together. I decided to let my youngest son sleep. My middle son was freaking out, and we were trying to find information. You turn on the TV, it's information, infomercials and sports, but then you get that automated message. So it only reinforces that something is actually happening. If I wasn't a Twitter addict, I probably would have been in an even worse place, because it was clear on Twitter that it was a false alarm, probably in about 10 minutes, but it took almost 40 minutes for official word to come through the same channels that told us that it might happen.
Now, an investigation was launched, was announced that it was going to be launched quite quickly. Are they any closer to realising whether it was human error, exactly what happened to make this dramatic mistake?
There was a press interview with our governor, the head of the Emergency Management Association. It was a shift change, happens 3 times a day, 365 days a year. Somehow someone pushed the wrong button. That it was how it was described. Fortunately, Vern Miyagi, the head of the emergency department, said, "This is on me. It's my responsibility." They're going to reassess how that happened. But with the recent arguments over how big buttons are on people's desks, I thought it was almost fitting that it was the wrong button that basically sent Hawaii into a panic for those few minutes.
And how do people now trust this system, that if something else comes up, how are they going to actually believe that what they're seeing or hearing is right, whether it's a false alarm or an actual strike?
Well, we've had the possibility of a strike in the news for months. There was coverage of us coming up with a plan here. And false alarms are not new. I mean, we get a lot of tsunami alerts whenever there's an earthquake, and we just have to sit and wait and see. I think the bad news is that this was the first time like this, and the time frame is so small. I mean, 10 minutes is barely enough time to kiss everybody and say goodbye, text your coworkers and tell them how you feel. And I think that level of panic is going to be something we're going to have to be prepared for more. I thought I was a prepared person. I'm a ham radio operator. I'm always into the news, and suddenly I was even with panic. So I can't imagine what it was like for everybody else.
Well, we hope you don't have to go through that again. Ryan Azawa, thank you very much for joining us on Al Jazeera.
My pleasure. Glad I'm here.